There we go. How's that for audio now? Fixed it. See? Technical difficulties, they happen. Anyway, before the train wreck, number 94. I'll start over again. Here we go. We're talking about when women treat pets like kids. This happens a lot. I've had this sent to me quite a bit in Bumble and Tinder profile screen captures. I've seen this a few times. I did a poll, which I'm going to share in just a minute on the screen. Guys, again, if you're watching this somewhere else, do me a solid. Come on over to YouTube and watch it over here. So if you're on Twitter, Facebook, hit that link. Come on over to YouTube. It helps me out a ton. And smash the like button like that. That little thumbs up. Okay, let's get started. Let's hop into this poll. Now, I want to say this before some people freak out. I am not opposed to pets. I happen to like dogs. I had a dog at one point. She was a sweetheart, but sometimes women go a little bit overboard. I think dogs are great, especially for men. There's a reason why they call it, men's best friends. If you want something that's going to love you unconditionally, if you want something that's actually going to love you more than it loves itself, get a dog. Don't go looking for a wife or a girlfriend. Just get a dog. That'll tick off that box 100% of the time. Problem that I've seen, though, is a lot of the times women get a little stir crazy when it comes to pets. Somebody said the other day, if she gets a small dog, she's trying to replace children. If she gets a big dog, she's trying to replace a man. I got some cool stories to share tonight, too, on some of these. Let me just pull this up on the screen and share you the poll results. Share screen, app window, boom, boom, boom. All right, so you guys probably see this from time to time, but there's community tab, and there's stuff that I post on there. Sometimes it's question surveys. By the way, if you haven't seen this bit here that I posted the other day, Sean Stevenson did a talk on the prison of your mind. Lesson number 1: never believe any prediction that doesn't empower you. Go watch that after this video. I also did an interview with him, which I linked over here. It is definitely worth your while to watch that. He passed away a few months later, but let's move down to the pet thing here so we stay on topic for the whole night here. Okay, here it is. Men only. What is your policy on dating women, dog, cat moms with pets on a longer term basis? So when I'm specifying this, what's your policy on dating women with pets on a long-term basis? More than spinning a plate, more than going out on a couple of dates. I'm talking like you're going to see her on a more long-term basis, like 3-6 months plus. Okay. Generally, I found women with pets have gross habits, like letting animals sleep in her bed. In many cases, they treat them like children, and it's similar to being with a single mom, only her kids crap on your floors. I did not know what to expect when I started dating chicks with pets, because they'd have their own place. And for whatever reason, they always seem to have a pet or more than one pet. I remember when I was working in the credit and collection world, I was about 22 or 3. And walking around the office, I noticed this bizarre trend with the ladies over in the skip tracing department, because by a wide margin, the men were always, for the most part, doing the collection work and making all the calls. And they had a skip trace department, which basically tries to locate people. And you walk through there, and they were mostly older-ish type of women. And they often had picture frames on their desks with, around Christmas time, pictures of them and their pet, sometimes pets, on Santa's lap. And I thought it was a little bit weird. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was a little bit crazy. I think I might have said a comment or made a comment at one point. If I'm not mistaken, I probably had a phone call or an email from an HR clerk on it, but it's a little bit bizarre when it goes to that level. Listen, I like dogs. Here, I'll pull up. There it is. That was my pup. That was, she was about, I don't know, 75, 80 pound Roddy. I didn't have her for too long, but I was about 21, 22 at the time. So dogs are a sweet little thing. So the poll results here, we got 35,000 votes back, and the 50% of the votes went to, I'm okay with women with one pet. After that, it's too much. The second highest item selected was, I generally avoid women with pets in long-term relationships, but will smash. And then it went down to, I'm okay with a woman with 2+ pets, doesn't faze me at all. And I'm a woman. I just want to see the results. So I always put that there just so somebody can try to click it through if they want to see the poll results and not skew the results. So the thing that you gotta understand here, guys, is when you're gonna mess with chicks with pets, a lot of them have unhealthy relationships and attachments to them. I remember this one girl I dated in my 20s. She had this I don't know what kind of cat it was, but she had 2 cats. So when I first started dating her, you'd stay over and the stupid thing would bite your feet while you're sleeping. And I'm not talking like a kiss or a nibble or a lick. It would be like a full-on chomp down on your toe while you're fast asleep. Well, it was either me or the cat, I told her. The cat went, flying across the room, did it a few more times. Anyway, she got rid of that cat. The other one was like a bow-legged one whose legs were like caving in because it was so fat. Its belly would like drag on the ground. I don't know what it is with fat house cats, with women with these things, but they just like lie there with these big fat bellies and they're like, blah, and they just drag on the ground behind them. This thing, I don't know where to get started with this cat situation. Again, I'm not opposed to pets. I like animals. Like I said before, look, if you want something that's going to truly love you unconditionally, get a dog. It's the only thing that will actually love you more than it loves itself. Even your mom cannot love you as much as a dog will love you. That's just the reality of it. Don't go getting married. Don't go getting a girlfriend if you want to be loved by something. Get a dog. It will love you more than it loves itself. That's just the way that it is. All right. Let's see what we got here. Let's keep on chiming through because we got some comments based off that. Let's add us back to the stream here. Okay, so let's see what the top comment was here. Ryan says, I'm okay with women having as many pets as she wants as long as she takes care of them and her house doesn't smell like an animal shelter. Can't stand dogs sleeping on bed. There's 2 important things here. So animal shelter. Another chick I dated once. So we go back to her place. And of course, why we go back there, because stuff has to get done. But walk into her apartment and I swear to God, it was like a wall of, I don't even know how to describe it. It was like a wall of a scent of feces and urine, just like slapping you across the face hard. And then you walk in there and you're like, what's going on in here? She's like introducing you to her chinchilla, her rabbit cage, her 2 cats, some bird. And I swear to God, I can't even show you the size of this room here. I'm going to pull this out, but it's literally the size of my office, like my studio kind of room here. It's probably, I don't know, 20 feet across and about 30, 35 feet deep. That was the size of the entire apartment. And it was like a zoo in there. I totally agree with what Ryan's saying here. If her place smells, if it stinks like a zoo, you're going to have problems. I mean, your clothes are going to reek. There's going to be all kinds of fur on everything. It just gets messy. Women that are trying to replace, I don't know if they're trying to replace it, but I feel like they're trying to replace children with small animals. There's a saying that if it's a small animal, if it's a small dog, then she's trying to replace the fact that she doesn't have kids. If it's a big dog, then she's trying to replace the fact that she doesn't have a man. Usually the big, scary dogs, right? Dobermans, Rotties, German Shepherds, stuff like that. And then the other point that he's making here is can't stand dogs sleeping on the bed. Another chick I dated, waking up in the morning, there's her dog's asshole. Like I'm talking 3 inches from my face. You're lying there on the bed, just waking up, just kind of doing this sort of thing. And you open up your eyes and you're like, oh shit. And this dog's asshole is 3 inches from my face. And it's like, I don't understand why you're sleeping with an animal that when you take it to the park, it rolls around in others' dog shit and eats it. Like, again, I like animals, but there's a line you got to draw in the sand where you can't allow certain things to happen. Is this a big train wreck? Am I making a mountain out of a molehill here? Probably not. But like I'd like to tell you guys is you want to not invite crazy into your life. Chicks like swapping spit with her dog or her cat after it's been licking its butthole or it's sleeping on the bed and there's like feces everywhere. You got problems with that, man. You got the fur in the mouth and all that. Somebody say cat juggling. We're not even going to get to the cat thing right now. There's a super chat here. He says, I just dropped $46.20 today on a second cat who needed surgery for swallowing a plastic mat piece. Thankfully, I have pet insurance that pays 90%. I don't know. Listen, I'm not a big fan of cats. It's always these crazy cat lady, toxic feminist chicks that look feminine that you go over and they have like a cat collection. It's usually not just one. It's usually multiple of them. Girls with dogs can be a bit of an epidemic, usually the small ones that they like to dress up and put sweaters on and carry around in bags and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not into it. If I'm going to get another dog, I want a dog that looks like it can rip off your arm and beat you with it, right? Roddy, Doberman, Belgian Malinois, German Shepherd. Problem with those things is you need a lot of land because you want them outside, right? Here, I don't know. We'll get to that when I get to that. I'll probably have another dog at some point, but again, it's going to be one of those types of dogs, on some little foo-foo dog. And then when they talk to them, what is up with the way women talk to dogs? Huh? Here, I'm going to grab the link so you guys can call in tonight. Copy to clipboard, post, call in and ask a question. All right, I'll copy and paste this and kind of spam it in the chat as we go here. I wanted to talk about the way that women talk to dogs, the unhealthy way. Copy. All right, so if you have a question tonight on tonight's topic, you disagree with something I'm talking about here, that's fine. You can come in. It's open to everybody, men, women, young, old. I'm going to be doing Q&A for a total amount of about 60 to 90 minutes tonight. I have another show I have to do after this privately. So what always happens is you guys will all pile in towards the end, and then I've got like a dozen of you waiting to come on and ask the question. And it's like, sorry, guys, you left it too late. So come in now. Anyway, links in the chat. Come on in. So talking to dogs, like I understand talking to your child. I understand talking to even your toddler to try to encourage it to recognize your voice, to engage it in something, right? Like you want an acknowledgement, but dogs are never going to get to the point where they're going to respond. I remember, this girl with the dog with the asshole in front of the face, the 3 inches in front of the face, when you're sleeping, when you wake up in the morning, she talked to this thing like it was not even a child. It was like, I don't know, like a challenge child almost. It's like, just let it walk. I'm sure, like it's an animal. These things were like bred from wolves at one point. I'm sure it can find its way across a couple of stones when it's walking towards us here. And then, her family's like, oh, this is her most endearing quality. No, it's really annoying, actually, is what it is. They don't understand. Cats are just, look at this comment here from Jesse. Cats are all entitled little C's for real. Would never date a cat lady. Honestly, don't. Just don't get into anything long-term where women have these unhealthy relationships with animals, where they're putting them in picture frames on their desk, on Santa Claus's lap, dressed in some ugly Christmas sweater, where they talk to them like, they're like children. Save yourself a nightmare. Save yourself a headache. Don't let these things sleep in beds. You guys want to hear another story? Let me move this out of the way over here. I'll take this down too. And go back over the chat so I can see what's going on. There was an ice storm that we had here. This is one that's a little more recent in the last 6 or 7 years. Those that lived in Toronto, I would say it was about 2014. Was it 2013 or 14? We had a brutal ice storm. Like, I'm talking, there was a layer of ice, at least an inch and a half thick on everything. In downtown Toronto, most of the houses take power through these power lines. You just connect them from house to house. So these things get frozen, they get heavy, and they start to break. So almost the entire city was out of power for at least 2 or 3 days in the wintertime. Houses are getting cold, nothing's working. Girlfriend's like, hey, can I come over with the kids? Okay, fine. Comes over with the kids and brings the cat. I'm like, what'd you bring the cat for? I don't want the little cat to be in the house and freeze or anything bad to happen. Oh, fine. Shows up with her, the kids, 2 kids, and then a cat, and a cat litter box, and a cat cage, and cat toys. And this little bastard, cats are assholes, like this guy said. This little bastard. See, I can tell you why cats are assholes, because what they'll do is they'll jump up in front of you, like right in front of the table when you're doing something, and then they're going to turn around and put their tail straight up in the air and put their butthole right in your face, little pricks. And they do this on purpose. You ever see those memes? There's like videos that they've done on YouTube, or maybe it was on Instagram reel that I saw at one point, where it's like people were behaving like cats as if they're in real life. It's fucking hilarious. But that's what they do. This little bastard comes over to my house. I'm basically inviting her and this little prick in my house. And what it does that night is it shits on the couch, not just anywhere in the house. It shits on the couch where I was sitting. Okay, exactly where I was sitting before I got up to go to bed. It shat right there, left a turd on my couch. And then it decided to go up in my kid's room and then take a shit in front of her bed. Like, these things are horrible little creatures. You want to get involved with a cat mom, dog mom, do it. Just understand you're getting involved with something that is problematic. Dude here is talking about paying $4,620 for a second cat that needed surgery for swallowing some dumb shit. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's a little bit crazy. There was a article here that Rolo tagged on my post today. Let me pull it up here and show it to you on this topic. Again, guys, if you have a question for tonight, you want to hop in live, let's do a little Q&A here tonight. Where are we? Yeah. Kate says, women who dress up their animals in costumes, major red flag for BPD. Just saying. Don't know if it's BPD, but it's a red flag in the case that they're treating the animal like a child. These are not children, they're animals. See, the thing that most North Americans don't understand if they don't travel is that animals around most of the world, if somebody has dogs or cats, it's because dogs are used for security, right? Because they bark at night if somebody's trying to break in or something bad going on. Usually they're of the breed or kind where they'll actually attack somebody that intrudes. And cats were usually kept to keep pests and rodents away, like mice and rats and stuff like that. But then these women that have gone and, got their degrees and put off becoming, a parent and having a family and raising children have gone, through the corporate ladder, climbed it all. And then one day they get bored and they're like, oh, I'm going to get a fluffy dog and put clothes on it and talk to it like it's my child. Let me pull up Rolo's post here. Add to stream. The Rational Mail. That damn dog. Dude's got a post for everything. I'm just going to read the intro here because I think this is the breakdown. By the way, this is what the little bugger looked like with the asshole in front of my face 3 inches away. I think it was something like a Bichon, right? Which is another foo-foo dog name. For my real life friend, good luck, Chucky says, is it just me or does anyone else get seriously annoyed with women and their dogs? It's nauseating how they treat these annoying fucking overgrown rats. I'm just going to swear because you can swear about once or twice in a video. Spend the night at a chick's house and even she's kind enough to close the bedroom door behind. Oh, that's the other thing too. You try to get the dog or the animal out of the room and then it's under the damn door with the paws doing this the whole damn time while you're trying to bang, right? Spend a night at a chick's house, and even if she's kind enough to close the bedroom door behind her, leaving a dulce in the living room, inevitably of her hour, on the hour, she leaves some rustle outside the front door, or the compressor on the fridge makes a noise, and Killer has to start yapping his little head off. I was out with some friends tonight. One of them was a girl I dated a couple times a while back. Not like we didn't have anything interesting to talk about, but the conversation veers towards her new Shih Tzu puppy. She's so proud of her baby. He learned how to climb up and down the stairs, and now he's potty trained. Yay! As if that weren't enough, the BlackBerry comes out, and we have to... This is obviously 2012. He's talking about BlackBerries. As if that wasn't enough, the BlackBerry comes out, and we have to look at pictures of her adorable little child. Isn't he cute with his little bow in his hair? Ah, Christ. These chicks wonder why they can't find a man who will stick around. It isn't bad enough that they want to be a man themselves in everyday life. But then they want to come home and play mommy to a 10-pound mop that has to be walked every few hours and leave surprises on the floor every couple of weeks. I'll let you guys read the whole blog if you want. It's on Rolo's page. It's from 2012. This is That Damn Dog. So you can go check that out. Anyway, we've got some guys waiting in the background area here to have a little chit chat. Let's get it on. This is the part of the show that I like. Let me just make sure I didn't miss any of the chats or comments I got to throw up on here. Boom, boom, boom. No. We're good. Okay. I'm going to throw you in first, Andre. See what you got to say. Give me a sec here. Okay. Boom. Oh, hang on. I got to get my headphones in. Give me a sec.
Okay.
Damn feedback. All right. There we go. What are you saying, brother?
Oh, I'm in Edmonton, Alberta.
How fucking cold is it there today?
Oh God,
or is it hot?
It's starting to warm up now. Our version of warm up is God -5, which is, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but
you guys get these
Celsius
Chinooks that come in over the mountains that really heat it up sometimes in the winter.
Yeah. We're actually starting to get those now, but last week it was 40 below, literally 40 below.
Yep.
So the weather, I don't know. It's not warming of the earth. It's climate change, right?
Yes. We'll just go with climate change, my friend. So, do you have a question for me tonight? Do you have an experience to share? Like, what's on your mind?
Yeah, and I don't know if I can get off subject of what it is that you were saying, but I just it's interestingly enough, I was dealing with a situation where I'm basically deciding to just cut off all strings with any woman that just fucks with my head, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the language. I've been doing that systematically, really, right? Anybody who says, I'm talking to my ex-boyfriend, blah blah blah, gone. And now, what was it? Now today, it was, and I don't know how to quite play this because I used to be easily played, and I don't know how to. Like I said, here's the situation.
We all used to be easily played, brother.
Oh, God. I'm 54, 55 years old almost. And
when did you start setting boundaries in your life with stuff like this?
How
old were you? Was it just recently, or
just recently? Yeah.
Just recently. Why? Like, what was the event that like forced you to be like, F this? I'm not putting up with this anymore.
It was interesting. Like I was with my therapist, and she, being a female and whatnot, and she said, you need to phone these people and tell them to get lost. Basically,
that's horrible advice. Why would she say that?
Well, because she was saying that I need to stop. I need to stop enabling them to contact me.
I'm gonna offer you something a little bit different, and this is part of the reason why I always tell guys, look, if you're gonna go and seek therapy, fine, do it, but get a male therapist. Women are practically useless for like go and call these people and tell them to get lost. This is the way you get rid of energy vampires. Arm's length. Okay. All that you have to do is lose their phone number, their texts, and don't respond to them. If they call you, you don't answer the phone. If they text you, you just ignore it. Your silence is enough to tell them that you're done putting up with their crap. You don't owe them anything. Okay. This whole let's give them a call and have a conversation and tell them why they're a bad person and you're going to cut them off. Get at. That's what women do. That's not what men need to do.
Yeah. And it's interesting you say that because, and that's the one thing that and a lot of guys are friends of mine that are experiencing is that do I phone them and give them shit and tell them why I'm pissed off and whatnot and
you just don't respond. I got a text the other day for some douchebag that I told to pound sand 2 years ago. I just ignore it. I don't even respond to it.
Good. Yeah. No. And that's what I've learned is like you don't give them your energy.
Exactly.
And so today, what happened was like this woman. She's smart. She's intelligent. She's she's basically a country song is what I think anyways. And or what I did think anyways. And so she is telling me this story. She had many deaths in her family. Her brother, cancer, her sister, suicide, her mother, cancer, and her ex-boyfriend of 3 years ago, suicide. And I knew him. He was a great guy, amazing guy. Anyways,
a lot of people are dropping dead around this woman.
Right? Yeah. So I'm going, okay, what the hell's going on?
Is this woman you're dating? Is she just a friend, or what is she?
She's a friend. She's a friend, and she wants to get to know me and everything. And she said, I just can't because there's just all this shit that's happening in my life. I I'm dealing with it, right? I have to deal with it.
How old
and,
is she?
And now she became a grandmother. She's 52 years old, and
Jesus.
and now I'm saying to myself, okay, her daughter just had kids, 2. She's a grandmother of 2, and her daughter's having trouble, and she feels the need to be there, right? And I'm completely out of the picture now, completely, right? And I was like, well, wait a minute, I just helped you move, I helped you do this, and
hang on a sec. You helped her move. Oh, you went mute. We lost your audio.
Oh, hang on here.
There you go. It's back now.
Okay. So I helped her do a lot of stuff.
Okay, so hold on a sec. Who is this woman? Is this a woman that you're dating? You had a friends with benefits, relationship? It
was more of just a friendship at first, and then she kind of had interest in me, and vice versa, right?
Mm-hmm. But I mean, like, you had, of course, interest in her intimacy. She had interest in what with you? What was her interest in you?
The interest was that I was well, she was attracted to, because I'm a big guy. She likes big guys, right? And I'm 6'5", 270, 280, right? And so yeah.
You're also a big guy that's strong enough to pick up shit and move it for her too, if she has to move. Like, let's be honest here, right?
Amen, brother. Amen. Yes. Yeah, that's exactly it. Right. And so, so basically I said, okay, all right, let's see how this goes. And I'm a pretty easygoing guy, and I let things slide. Right. And really I shouldn't.
Were you smashing at this point?
No.
So you're moving stuff from one house to another house, being a shoulder to cry on, and you're not even getting any intimacy out of it.
I'm not getting nothing. Yeah. And yeah,
you're playing the role of Beta Bucks, my friend. You're there to be that shoulder to cry on. You're her friend.
Yeah. No, I got.
You got to cut that shit off.
So I mean, that's what I did.
You've got to be clear. I mean, I'm assuming that you're a healthy man and you're interested in a woman's sexual attention versus her non-sexual attention.
Yes.
And it's like, the stuff like moving or hanging shelves, that happens long after there's been intimacy, and good intimacy, by the way, not some basic ass shit. But like, you got to flip the script on that. And that's why you're getting to the point where, like, well, I got to tell her to pound sand because she's using you, basically. I mean, she doesn't even want to bang. Yeah.
And that's exactly what I did today. I kind of finished it off. I stopped and I said, I'm done. You know what? I'm not, I don't want to, you know what? It sucks that, I can understand. I would say to her, second, if you were seeing somebody else, that's a no-go. I'm done. I'm gone. And with your family, again, I don't know how that, and I honestly think that it's just avoidance on her part, right? And I can't work with that, right?
You screwed up from the get-go where you put yourself in the friend zone. You have to, from the beginning, if you're talking to a woman, you have to express that you're interested in her sexual attention. You're not interested in her non-sexual attention only. It's okay to have conversations and, sit down and have some breakfast after a night of, swinging from the chandelier sort of thing. But you have to make it clear from the get-go, you're not friend zone material. Like, if you need some guy to move for you, then go find some other dork to go and do that, because that's not what you do.
Yeah.
Right. Set those boundaries, be firm around them, and don't let these chicks use you as a moving crew. I mean, did she pay you? Did she make you a nice dinner? Did she give you a bottle of something, buy you a cigar?
No. She gave me a fireplace.
What's that?
She gave me a fireplace.
What, like an electric plug-in one?
Yeah.
What you're really saying is she gave you garbage that she didn't want to keep as like payment for help, for helping her out.
That's pretty deep. And
set boundaries, man. Don't let these chicks take advantage of you.
Yeah, no. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And honestly, watching your videos and whatnot, that's actually helped me, empowered me a little bit more. And the one thing I've always found, and I don't know if you have any videos for guys that are 50 and over, right? Because the dating scene is messed up, even after for women, with women that are over 50 and over.
Your best ROI is what I talk about in my book, is to chase excellence, not women. Look after yourself.
Okay.
You're 6'5". You'd probably be in a healthier state around 220, 230. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
So lose some weight. Send off the striking image of like masculinity. The V taper. If you got belly fat, kill it off.
Yeah.
The only way that you're going to be spoiled for choice, like guys are always complaining, women are garbage. There's no good women in my age bracket. You should do a video for women in this category. Blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, I mean, if you're going to go and rate yourself, Andre, from a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the best version of yourself, I'm not talking about like when you were 20 years old. I'm talking about your age right now. But, with you being at the best version of yourself, like where would you rate yourself right now in your life as you stand today?
For age-wise, you mean?
Yeah, for where you are today. Like, do you think that you're the best version of yourself? Are you a 10? Are you a 3? Are you a 6? Like, where would you put yourself?
You know what? I'm a comfortable 7.
Okay. So you're comfortable at 7?
Yes.
But you've got room to become better yourself. So if you want to be spoiled for choice, if you want to date younger women that aren't grandmothers that are going to be interested in your sexual attention, you've got to be the guy that they're willing to throw themselves at. That's really what it boils down to. There's no secret sauce. Everybody's like, well, you got to do a video because I'm 52 and a half next month, and I need to know what the answers to this, and I'm a Scorpio born on this date at this time. And then it's like, dude, none of that shit matters. Are you sexy? Do you have game with women? Do you look good naked? It really just boils down to those basics, right?
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
You know as well as I do that a lot of us guys, a lot of men out there, they're actually hard on themselves.
Yeah, of course.
Especially when when they're out of a new relationship or something like that. At any age, really, they're hard on themselves, and it takes, and I give kudos to you. It takes people like you to really snap us out of that frame.
There's no free lunch, for men. Men have the burden of performance. We have to do the work. Men have always been disposable throughout history. It's just the reality of our place in the pecking order. Yeah. So, like nobody cares about men. That is one of the great lies that men have been told, their entire lives, because they try to pile men into like the female first primary social order. It's like, you're important. We care about you. Really? Because everything that I've seen throughout life, the way that men are treated, how they're so disposable, what happens going through divorces, what happens in breakups, how women move on. So no, men, you've got to put yourself first. I mean, this is why, this term mental point of origin was coined years ago. I don't know where it came from, if it was Rollo or somebody else, but it's been around for a long time. Put yourself first. The next time a chick's like, hey, Andre, I got to move, and I could really use a hand, and you're a big guy because I like big guys, and you look, strong. Can you come over and give? No, I'm busy. Well, what are you doing? I'm watching my lawn grow. I'm watching molasses fall in Alberta at -40 very slowly right now. I'm busy. It doesn't matter,
Yeah.
You can have without saying it, you can have my non-sexual attention once I've had your sexual attention for a while. How does that sound, sweetheart? Yeah. Without saying it in that way. You know what I'm saying?
I'm kind of a direct guy, so I would probably.
No, you can go direct too if you want. It's entirely up to you, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. I got a lot of dudes here waiting in the background. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it. Take care. All right, let's see what else we got here in the chat. Andre, Mohammed, Anton. Guys, run your cameras just so I can see, who's who with the names over here. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that helps out a lot. Okay, my question is, let's pull up Landon. I saw you coming in a bit. Landon, what's shaking, bro?
Not much, man. What's going on?
Good. You got one of those deep voices, like a radio voice.
Yeah, I've been told that like pretty much my whole life. Yeah.
Good. What's shaking?
Yeah. Well, first off, you were talking about those dogs, like girls with pets.
You got an experience to share?
I do. So my last girlfriend, she had 2 dogs. I had my own dog. And we moved in together.
Oh,
basically
sweet.
Off of a one-night stand.
What are you guys, like a lesbian couple? You move in right away?
Dude, whatever, man. No, it was more like so we met on New Year's, banged it out, had crazy wild sex, flapping each other around, just fucking really good stuff.
Yeah.
And turned into, because I was I'm a musician. Well, I kind of was until COVID hit,
Mm-hmm.
but I was working on a cruise type of ship, a riverboat.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd be gone for like a month and a half, 2 months, come on back. We'd hang out for a couple weeks. I would go back on the boat, and then it turned into like, I'm feeling sad and lonely. And you know what? Interesting. I'm actually kind of thinking because a big reason I ended up stopping doing that was uh, because of kind of what I was wanting to ask about, which was dealing with loneliness
Mm-hmm.
as a single guy. Me being a lone wolf kind of type, I don't necessarily like that about myself.
How old are you?
I'm 36.
Okay.
I'm 36.
Are you more introverted or more extroverted?
I'm a little bit of both,
Okay.
but I can be comfortable on either side for the most part. But I guess I would lean towards introverted.
Mm-hmm.
But so the loneliness really sinks in, and the idea of wanting to be with somebody. And there's this hopeless romantic fucking stupid idea in my head that I've always hated.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating. I actually started watching your videos after me and her broke up.
How long ago was that?
We broke up. Let's see. It was October.
Okay.
October.
Okay. So, I mean, you've seen a few of them now, right? So what's the ask here? Like, how do you get over the loneliness?
Well, just kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess so, because it's like, part of me has taken that pill, and I'm at this point now where I'm like, I don't really want to, I don't know if I want a relationship. I see all these miserable married people. I see, and the thing about dating now is like, you can just pretty much use Tinder
Mm-hmm.
to your way, to an extent. I know that's kind of awful, but I mean, you can get laid that way.
Well, I think that, like as a guy
ways,
with where you're at, I mean, you should be coming up on your SMV peak, which is usually
right.
mid to late 30s. I mean, it can push into the early 40s as well too.
Sure.
But what do you do for a living right now? Like, you're working, you said you were a musician working on riverboats?
Yeah, I was. And I was basically a musician, like a touring musician for like 10 or 12 years. And I'm not a front man. I'm just a side man. I'm a bass player.
Okay.
That's my main gig. But now I'm working on cars.
Okay.
It's like, what you gonna do?
I'll say this, like, when it comes to camaraderie and loneliness, you should never rely on a woman to like fill that for you. I think that that's a bad place to start, because anytime something can be taken away from you, it can become a vice. It can be something that can hurt you, even, right? Everything you should, in my view anyway, you should look at every relationship, and as difficult as this might be to understand and hear, and some people are going to be mad, I can't believe he's going to say this now, but everybody's disposable. Everybody's replaceable. In fact, even if you're in a good long-term relationship, even if you're in a marriage, if you're in a dating type of scenario with a chick for a while, she should know, without you explicitly saying you are replaceable, but she should know that she can be replaced. Right. She should know that she can't possibly ever be your only source of sexual intimacy ever for the rest of your life. She has to know that you have choices. Whether or not you choose to exercise them right now, it doesn't matter, but she has to understand that you have options. So whenever you get like really like meat hooked on to like one of these girls, like, she's my one, she's my true one, we're soulmates sort of thing. Okay, well, she's gone now. Right. And you're left with your bass guitar and your dog and, your job working on cars. You're like, well, what do I do now to fill that void? The camaraderie, like that friendship part, I think should come from men. Right. When I want to hang out with guys that shoot guns, I got my boys that do that. When I want to hang out with guys that drive supercars fast and cause trouble, and we're on our radios in the cars, as we're driving, and we, like do all that fun shit that we're doing when we sit down to eat and drink afterwards and all that stuff, I do that with my boys. I mean, sometimes, the girl will come along with you for the ride from time to time, but it's primarily me and my boys sort of thing. Those should be That should be, in my view, the prime source of camaraderie, so that you're not lonely, right?
Right.
Now, a woman, if she shows up and she's a compliment to your life, she's not the focus, can be like the cherry on the top of the cake. It can be like the whipped cream on the top of the cake. You've already got the cake. All you're doing is you're throwing something pretty on top of it, right? And if you can look at it that way, like, I already have the cake, I don't care if the cherry's on it or not, you're happy with the cake. You throw a cherry on it, your night can be a little bit better.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
It doesn't matter either way. It
doesn't matter either way, because you've still got the cake.
Right.
That's the point that you have to get to when it comes to women. I think that you have to be comfortable by yourself. I mean,
right.
I realize
I'm comfortable by
my
myself.
20s.
Sorry. I'm comfortable by myself. But I'll tell you, man, I have so many flaky friends too. You know what I mean?
Are they married?
Yes, dude. They're married now.
That's why
I'm in that age now. It's like they're all fucking married. They're all
find some friends that aren't flaky and married. Because they're always going to have boundaries set, because most guys go into like beta buck zone. They go through betatization through 1,000 concessions in a marriage. So they start, yes, honey, yes, okay, fine, I'm not going to hang out with Landon anymore. Yes, I know I can't play in the band, whatever the fuck the reason is, but they're always going to create these boundaries. So find friends that don't have that problem. Either they're single or they're in a marriage where they're the head of the household and what they say goes, and you're not going to run into flaking issues. Right. So that's the other part of it too, is you have to be fastidious about who you're going to allow in your inner circle. You're going to draw a perimeter around yourself and the 5 people that you want to spend the most time with. Maybe it's 5 dudes, maybe it's 4 dudes and 1 chick, maybe it's 1 dude and 4 chicks. You decide what it is that you want to do, but you only let people in on the inner circle to spend time with you if they complement your life, if they're not flakes. If they add value, and you can add some value to their life as well. You just have to get, a buddy of mine once said, if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room. So if you find yourself in a position where you're dealing with flakes and losers and people that, don't respect your time, put yourself in a better room so that you expose yourself to better people.
Yeah, I think I'm finding that, but I realize they've been friends for a long time.
Who cares? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know. Just having to kick them to the curb. They're just,
well, you don't have to kick them to the curb, man. You just don't. You just don't acknowledge them, and you don't respond to them. Like if they flaked on you 2 or 3 times in a row,
right? Okay.
The next time they're like, "Hey, let's get together," and the guy's probably going to flake. You just don't respond to them. You go and make plans with somebody else.
Right.
That's like I fucking hate that excuse whenever someone's like, "Well, I've known him since high school." Right? I used to date this chick.
So true.
Bro, I used to date this chick that had like a loser circle of friends, for like 20, 25 years. Like, well, I've known them since high school. Well, they're losers, for these reasons, like legitimate reasons, right? Well, I've known them since I don't give a fuck. We're going to do this, and they're not coming, or they're not invited, right?
Right.
You've got to be fastidious with your time. If she wants to spend time with people that are flakes, that are dumb people in the room, then hey, don't be surprised if you don't get great results out of life, right?
Exactly. That's that's what I'm vibing. Yeah, totally. And that's what I want,
for you, bro, man. The cold hard truth. That's all I deliver. If you guys want rainbows and butterflies, talk to your mommy. All right, man.
Get some Kleenex. Thank you, Rich. Appreciate
See you, bro.
Man.
Peace. All right, let's see what we got here in the chat. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Plays bass guitar, but auto mechanic. Conk, my bro. What's up? What's he saying? Needs to invest in bigger ponds. Yes. If your pond's too small, get into a bigger pond. Let's see here. We got in the private chat. Guys in the private chat, if you have a topic that you want to talk about, just let me know what it is, and I'll pull you up and throw you on the screen. So I got Landon. Andre pulled him out. Had a deal with Shane. Okay. We had a MGTOW in here. Anton? Okay, let's pull the MGTOW in. What's up, brother? You got audio, man? No, we have a black screen. Okay. Come back when you have audio. I'm going to pull you out. I'm going to kick you just to make some space. Pete has a 2 cents on relationships and a dog. What's up, Pete?
Hey, Rich. huge fan of your channel.
What's up?
Just wanted to share my kind of like my past relationship. Had to deal with my last girlfriend.
Yeah.
She treated her girlfriend or her dog like her baby. It was crazy.
Pretty common.
But the biggest thing would be kind of like when you talk about single moms and their kids, you're never the first priority. You're always the 10th priority, if even that. And I was just kind of curious of your opinion. Would you consider a girl that has dogs or a dog to be a red flag or just simply a yellow flag? Because I'm leaning towards the side of a complete red flag just because of how bad the experience was.
Okay, so I would. So when you're dating, you should be spinning plates. Okay, this should not even be a question. Like, should I spin plates? No, it's spin plates. You know, date multiple women simultaneously, and then what you're going to find as you're doing that, you're going to come across women with kids. You're going to come across women with personality disorders. You're going to come across women with other red flags, which may be she has a fluffy white rat dog that she puts, sweater vests on and talks to it like it's a child, and it sleeps in the bed with its asshole 2 or 3 inches from your face.
Exactly.
That's a red flag, right? So you don't need anybody's permission to say, no, I'm not going to date you on a long-term basis. No, I'm not going to sleep over. I mean, if you want to go there and hang out for the night and have a good time and smash and leave, fine. Then you don't have to deal with the butthole in your face, when you wake up in the morning from the dog, or it, yelping or chirping in the middle of the night, or somebody having to get up to take it out to take a crap or something like that. It's totally fine for you to do that. But you can only do that if you're spoiled for choice, if you have options, if you're spinning plates, right?
Right. Definitely a thing that I'm working on. Yeah, like even at one point she said she loved her dog more than me. And I asked her,
of course,
her parents / friends, and they confirmed, she loves her dog more than anything else. I was like,
yeah,
well, this is not a yellow flag in my situation. It's definitely a huge red flag.
Well, like if a woman's got kids, she's going to love her kids more than she loves you. Like even in a marriage, like even in a married couple, within a few years, like by the time the baby gets to like an age where it's like cute and it's like walking around, it can blah, 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 sort of thing. She's at the point there where that kid owns her heart. The father doesn't matter anymore. Like even in marriages, like women will still choose the kids over the husband. So when you get with a chick that's had a dog for a few years, she's going to love the dog more than she loves you. 100%.
Well, that was a new red flag for me. So,
it's a reality. It's just something that you're going to come across. I mean, is she going to let the dog, maul you and bite you and rip your arm off? Probably not. I would think if she's a good dog owner, but a lot of the times I've seen these women that the dogs just behave, or dogs and cats, it usually seems to be more specifically cats. They just let them behave like assholes.
Yeah. It was bad. So I just want to share my 2 cents.
All right.
Thank you for letting me jump on the stream.
You got it. Okay, Pete, see ya. Okay, let's what do we got here? Oh, Anton's back. He says, I don't get your aversion to pets. I've gone MGTOW. I've taken the red pill. I am not into long-term relationships, but I spent much of my life around dogs, cats, and rats. If a chick's against pets, I see that as a red flag. Okay, well, there you go. You're on. Anton. Going once, going twice, going 3 times. We got no audio. Okay, remove. I'm going to ban you from the studio this time because when you come on twice and your audio's not running, you will never be able to get in ever again. Let's see what else. I can share my 2 cents on the pets. I'm getting cold feet about a long-term relationship. Okay, James, let's talk about that. What's up? James is getting cold feet about an LTR. So what's shaking, man?
Hey, Rich. Hey, I just finished your book. Thanks. I was married for 30 years.
Okay.
I'm getting feedback on my mic here. I'm not sure.
Are you running YouTube somewhere else on your TV or on a computer? You're getting feedback that way? Here, I'll pull you out. See if you can fix that. I'm going to grab these super chats while you try to play around with that. Guys, the best way to run these is get some plug-in headphones And that way you can definitely deal with having any issues with feedback. So just plug those little bad boys in there. Aldo super chats. Thank you for the donation. He says, I want to chat sometime on minority alpha V. I don't know what alpha V is. Alpha. I think alphas are targeted and betas profiled with women, all women. Does this book address this? I'm not sure what your question is. I want to chat sometime. Well, if you want to click the link here, I'll drop it in the chat again. Aldo, just, specify who you are when you get into the waiting area, and I'll pull you in first because the super, it's just not clear to me. John says, hey, Rich, divorced for 2 years, had one natus, owned my house, then she moved in. Oh, boy. That's where the problems start. You don't let women move into a house that you own without any kind of cohabitation agreement. She left and paid off the house in the market, gained 70 pounds, 34. Now what? Hop onto the stream. Hop on the stream. Let's talk about it. 2 cents and 3. How to diminish bitter. Oh, Chad's got a good one. Chad, what's up? How to diminish bitterness? What's up, brother?
Yeah, Rich, how you doing, man? Can you hear me all right?
I saw the headphones. I said, this guy's coming on, man. He's got his audio set up.
Awesome, dude. You helped me get my mind right and get my body right, and I started a business and bought the M3 I always wanted. And my favorite part, I don't know why, the carbon roof competition package. I love the carbon. It's freaking awesome.
Which one did you get? The
M3
V8
competition.
or the turbo?
The
what year?
straight. It's at 18.
Oh, okay.
So it's a straight 6 twin turbo with its comp package.
Yeah.
I absolutely
Cool
love
car.
the thing. It's a ball.
Yeah. Where do you live? Do you live in a warmer climate? So
No, it's been away for 2 months because it's
you
friggin'
put it in
frozen. I've
storage.
got 3 feet of snow. It sucks.
I drove mine in the wintertime, man. Just put snow tires on it. It's totally fine.
No, I've been driving it, but it got snowed into my garage for 2 weeks. I was driving my truck, so I didn't bother digging it out.
Okay. Got it. You got 2 cars. All right. So what was your question again? You had a thing
I have
there
an
in the chat.
off-topic. I have an
Bitterness.
off-topic question.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, separated a couple years. Now that I see women for what they are, I'm getting offers all the time because I'm getting myself in order. But it's like, no thanks. These single moms and stuff, and I'm having a problem finding any of them attractive because it's just
How old are you now?
39, 38, whatever it is, 39.
Okay. So, I mean, you're coming up, like right on the tail end of the peak there for you. You got your nice car, you got your job, you got out of the crap relationship. So
in the middle of the
that you
divorce
have?
right now. Yeah. But you helped me with that as well. I stayed in the house and she just served me a couple weeks ago. My lawyer said she doesn't have a leg to stand on. She has nothing. She has nothing on me because I take care of the kids most of the time and I stayed in the house. Thank you.
What'll end up happening is she won't come to the cold, hard realization until either through a war of attrition, like letters back and forth and time spent, or a judge will have to tell her, you're being an idiot. It's not going that way. This is how it's going to be. So that's going to take some time for you to get through. It's not going to happen overnight. Are you bitter about the divorce? Are you bitter towards your ex-wife? Like who is the bitterness directed to?
I think it's just women in general, seeing them for what they are now. I had that whole one ad is forever and believe the whole Disney bull crap.
Did you read my book?
All of it. I haven't got. I was waiting for the audiobook. I do a lot of driving in the car.
It's going to be out soon. It's probably going to be out in the next month or so. It's very close to done.
I'm waiting.
I basically closed the book with with the old adage, like the whole point of the red pill and all of this knowledge is not to dislike women. It's to not dislike them for what they can never be to you. Right.
Yeah,
because our entire lives,
yeah.
We've been lied to, sugar and spice and all things nice and blah, 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 blah. And at some point where you're at right now, you're at the end of the divorce machine. You've spent 39 years on earth believing all this crap. And then you come across some bald guy with a beard on YouTube that talks about stuff and you go, oh, that makes sense. That now clarifies things. Now I'm bitter. Well, again, the whole point of all of this knowledge is so that you're not angry at women. Right.
That's not. I don't know if bitter is the right word. I'm not angry at them. I just every Instagram chick has her butt in a thong in your face, and it's like I don't even.
It's
whatever.
It's just
like
in
numb.
general.
I'm not mad. I'm just numb. I think.
Cool. Okay, so that's a totally different thing because I'm the same way, right? I mean, I can sit here and open up Instagram, TikTok, whatever, and look at this, and it's the same It's the exact same carbon copy of one chick after the other chick, and they're all the same, right?
Yeah,
and you start to look at it, start dating, you start dating a few women, maybe they're around your age, and they got kids in tow, and they got a story, and you start listening to it, and you're like, you're no different than my ex-wife. You're no different than the last girl I dated last week. You're no different than whatever. And that's just modern women today. You just accept the fact that this is what we're dealing with. Now that you understand what you're dealing with, then you start to dispense fewer F's around it, and you go and reserve that energy, those F's that you have, for something else. Maybe you go and join a car club. Maybe you go and do rallies with other guys and have some fun. There's lots of options for you to pursue once you unplug from the narrative that you have to find the one that's going to be by your side till death do us part, and sickness and health, and richer and poorer, and blah, 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 and all that sort of stuff, right? Because now you start putting yourself first. And then they start hitting you up, and they're like, hey, Chad, right? And then they're like, what are you doing this weekend? I like your car. Can we go for a drive? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'm busy, because it's not worth your while. Or you don't even respond. When you get that text from that girl that you were in a FWB relationship, friends with benefits, months ago, and she hits you up out of the blue, and she's like, hey, Chad, what are you doing tonight? You want to come over, or can I see you, or something like that? And you're like, you don't even bother responding, because you've got so many other options that are more important, that are more significant, that are more fulfilling for you, that align with your own mental point of origin. Just keep focusing on yourself. Keep working on the fact that the whole point of all this is not to dislike women. It's to not to dislike them for what they can never be to you. Once you've blown up, the entire narrative of, the sugar and spice, all things nice, and forever and ever till death do us part, and blah blah blah. You're just going to be like, who cares? You could call it numbness, if you want. If you want to call it numbness, fine. But at the end of the day, it's just, who cares?
Yeah, I kind of want to. I'd like to date again, but I don't want to be I don't want to be the doom pill, black pill, angry. I don't want to be that.
I can tell you that the doomer guys out there that are making all the negative content, they're not driving M3s, right? They're not driving competition pack cars with carbon fiber roofs and the 20-inch wheels. I don't know if you caught the early part of the stream, but I mentioned a post that I shared on the community tab with Sean Stevenson, and his number one lesson is never believe a prediction that doesn't empower you. And that's the problem with all these doomer guys out there that are like, if you're not tall enough, if your name's not Chad, you're never going to get laid, right? It's like,
I appreciate the shout outs constantly.
Yeah, you are believing predictions that don't empower you, which is why you suck. And you don't have to suck. But if you want to choose to suck, that's fine. Go suck. That's just the reality of it. So just disconnect from everything else. Put yourself first. And if you want to allow a chick or multiple chicks into your life when you're ready for it, make sure that you set boundaries and you don't let nightmares into your life. You're divorced now. Well, almost. You're divorced now. You got kids. How many kids you got?
3.
Okay. Do you want to have more kids? You done having kids?
Hell no.
Okay, so you're done having kids. So marriage offers you nothing. Sweet fuck all. There is no advantage to you at this point to ever get married again, right? So that's completely off the table. So when chicks are like, hey, well, Chad, I'd like to get married and have kids, because there's a lot of chicks out there right now, they're like 39, 40, 41, and like, I haven't had any kids because I put my career first. I've got 3 dogs and a cat, but I'd really like to have kids, and you're handsome and your children are beautiful, so I want to have more with you. It's like, fuck no. I'm busy. I'm going to the car meet this weekend. We're going to compare carbon fiber weave on our roofs. Okay. I am busy. I am going to watch molasses fall in minus 40 degrees centigrade weather very slowly. Okay.
Hey,
You're busy
I'm
doing
torn.
something else.
Next, I'm torn between a Lotus Evora and a 911. What's your take on that?
Listen, I have a bad relationships with 911s, because when I drove a 911 race car at Shannonville, which is a racetrack out here by Kingston, I didn't realize with 911s you got to get the braking out of the way before you start cornering, otherwise it'll
slow and fast out
around. Yeah. So I have friends with 911 Turbo S's, and they're like, "Yeah, I drive my car." I'm like, I'm kind of, it's like if you go out with like a red hair, like a redhead, and she like burns you or something like that. You never want to go out with a redhead again, sort of thing. the 911 Turbo S is like my whatever, right? I'm going to get over that. I'm probably going to go for a drive in one of my boys' cars, at some point in the spring. But that's the natural progression for most guys that are driving M cars, like M8s, M3s, M4s. They usually go to 911s.
I like the Lotus. My only thing I'm willing to give up on is a back seat, because I like to take my kids with me. So it's either 911 or Lotus Evora. Yeah, exactly. So that's why it's a short list of Evora, 911.
Yeah.
And I'm leaning toward the Evora.
Yeah. Evora's got a very small back seat, and it's not that fast.
The 400's all right.
Yeah. Take it out for a test drive. See how you like it. But I mean, the engine's in the right place, at least. It's in the middle.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Never believe a prediction that does not empower you. Stay focused on yourself, man. Peace out. I love guys like that. That's the best. Fucking hell. All right, let's go up here. There's some supers here I got to deal with. Melissa Goldberg says, just had a baby 2 weeks ago. Much more satisfying to push my newborn daughter in a stroller outside than pushing a puppy in a stroller. Oh my God. That's the other thing I miss. You ever see those puppy mommies pushing like little dogs and sweaters in a stroller? That's horrible. That's a good point. Companions from the Empire. Hey, Rich. Why are you using TikTok? Are you aware of the cybersecurity risks? Maybe you could also talk about cybersecurity for men. I don't know what the cybersecurity risks. I don't care. I'm not a dancing monkey on TikTok. If you want to go look it up, it's Entrepreneurs and Cars. What I've done is I've basically taken the shorts that I'm putting on my YouTube channel, and they're getting uploaded to TikTok. They're getting good reach. They're having a good impact on a lot of men out there. I'm getting some good feedback on it. So if you want to follow me there, go check it out. I'm not really worried about it because it's the same stuff that I'm putting on YouTube. It's not like I'm giving them my personal information. I give them none of the personal information. Fuck yeah. Rich Cooper is like the Tyler Durden of Fight Club. You know it, man. All right. Let's go back to the private chat. See what we got here. The Big Lebowski. What's going on? Let's see what the Big Lebowski's up to. I haven't seen you in a couple weeks now. How you been? Oh, you bounced. You pushed the wrong button, bro. Let's go to LB. He's got a story about an ex and a dog. What's up, LB?
Hello. First, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Cool. So I have by the way, my phone has 10% battery, so I might just die.
All right, you got 5 minutes then. Go quick.
Cool.
Boom, boom,
so
boom.
Basically, I also would like to know your take on this situation. So my ex, let's say her parents, they saved 2 dogs, like rescues.
Yeah.
German Shepherds, kind of. So she was in that household, always obsessed with dogs, walking them, talking about them, introducing me to them, and so on. So now, and for example, like the last few months when we were in a relationship, she always said, like, I want to rescue a dog. And we used to have arguments. Like I said, no, if, let's say, at some point we decide to buy a dog, let's buy it from the puppy. So we get to, train the dog, and basically why you want to use something if you can get a new one. And she used to always shame me, like, I have no heart, puppies, like, and dogs are so, like, abused and stuff. So my question is, do you think it has something to do with psychological, I don't know, not problems, but I mean, she was very feminine and cared about basically everyone and everything. So is that a feminine trait? Or...
I think it's more of like a preference. Okay. So let me put it to you this way. I mean, there's people out there that have a preference for an electric car, like a Tesla. I have a preference for a car that burns gasoline and makes loud noises. Right. That's just my preference. Neither of us are more right than the other. That's just a preference. So whether you choose to get your dog from a rescue shelter or you get it from a puppy, my preference would be to probably get it as a puppy because it's going to be my dog. I want to have a direct relationship with it. I want it to grow up around my kid. Kids don't. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you can get like rescue dogs or like dogs from some of these places, and they're a little messed in the head, and you have to spend a few years like getting them out of that. Like I have a friend with these 2 dogs that he rescued from a pound or something like that. And I think that they were in like puppy mills or something like that. And they were beaten, like there was something wrong with them. You can't even pet them. You go over to his house, you cannot pet the dogs. They're in a separate room. They're locked up because they'll rip off your arm. Like they'll bite off your hand. Right. So it really depends on what your preferences are. But as far as her shaming you for your preferences, that's bullshit. Never let anybody, a woman, a man, it doesn't matter, shame you for your preference. If you have a preference for electric cars, go get your electric car, right?
Totally.
You do what you want.
I was just thinking, like, psychologically, like, to ask someone, does that actually, is there a link if someone is like really obsessed with dogs, like they see a dog, oh my God, and also one thing which stuck in my mind, she multiple times said, like, actually I prefer dogs than humans because humans are basically like shit.
Most people that have been around dogs for a long time will say that. They'll like almost everybody that I know that has grown up around dogs would probably say that they would prefer to be around dogs instead of humans. And I don't blame them because there's a lot of assholes out there, right? Like dogs never treat you like that. I mean, like I said earlier, a dog is the only thing that will love its owner more than it actually loves itself. So
you wouldn't take that as a red flag?
No, not really.
Oh,
not
okay,
really.
cool.
But the shaming you for your preference, to me, yeah, like, let's not go there, sweetheart. You have a preference for this. I have a preference for that. Okay, that's just the way that it is. I'm not going to listen to you tell me that I'm a worse person because I like this instead of that.
What about let's say there was a situation like she has her own house. We decide to move into her house, hypothetically, and she says, "Listen, I'm gonna get a 2-year-old, 3-year-old rescue dog," and I say, "Listen, you're not gonna get this dog because I'm not gonna waste my time or like invest my time in walking your dog, which it's not like I don't want to train someone else's dog who's 3 years old." So I said, if we move in together into your house, let's say we get a puppy, and then we can take it from there. And her comment, I remember, was, "You don't have enough reins because it's not your house, so you don't get to say in it." So I think
then you don't move into her house.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why we're not together anymore. But yeah, just like a comment like this.
Done. Yeah, like it's she's trying to run you, okay? And if she's trying to run you like this early on in the relationship where you haven't like lived together, you haven't gotten married or have kids or done anything that goes through like the progressive steps that most people look at, not that I'm for marriage. I mean, obviously I've said a million times it's stupid as hell, but if she's trying to run you at this point where she's telling you what to do before you've even like gotten any close to her, trust me, dude, she's done you a favor. Let her become somebody else's problem. You don't need that kind of bullshit. Find a chick that's in your frame that's like, yes, LB, I'm totally with you. I'm going to support that. You want to get that kind of puppy? That's cool. I'm going to walk the dog too, and I'm going to pick up the shit as well, to help out around the house. That's the kind of woman that you want.
Totally. Yeah.
You don't want some chick telling you that you're a bad person because you're not getting the type of dog from the place that she wants you to, and that you're not allowed to do what you want because it's her house. You know what? Keep your fucking house and get lost. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I exactly agree. Yeah, because it's either your frame
it's your frame, or it's your way or the highway. It's comply or goodbye. Don't let women push you around like this, guys.
Totally. By the way, enjoy your book. Read it twice, and sometimes go back to the certain chapters. For example, the best chapter I found is on the, as you said, like rankings of the investment. So that is for me like number one. I always, if I text with someone or see their genuine desire, I always go back to that chapter and just to, double check, just to implement.
Glad you enjoyed it. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Have a good show.
Yeah, guys, and if you haven't got the book yet, it's on Amazon, the Unplugged Alpha. I don't have a copy over my shoulder because I had to sign one and give it away to a friend the other day, so I don't have one to pull out. I got Aaron Cleary's book over there. But yeah, Unplugged Alpha. It's on Amazon, Kindle, and print. It's coming in Audible very soon, probably in the next month or within the next 4 weeks anyway, so grab it there. Super chat here from Phlegmatic. Hello, Mr. Cooper. Do you have any advice for men who have trouble finding a profession? Do stuff more until you've found something that you absolutely love, and then double down on that. Tuscan says, pets require an enormous amount of attention and resources for which most people fail to respectfully vet prior to acquisition. Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that dogs are a lot of work. Like dogs, I mean, more so than cats. it's like having a toddler that it's a lot of work. Let's just put it that way. Like, you think it's easy and it's always going to be sweet and peaceful and they're always going to be, you know, by your side. They don't live that long. They'll live 10, 12 years maybe. You have to go through that heartbreak. You got big vet bills. It's not easy peasy lemon squeezy. You got to understand, pets are a big commitment. Let me go back to the private chat here. Let's see what we got. Big Lebowski. Here you go. What's up, brother?
Am I on? Yeah.
You're on.
Okay, great. Yeah, I was having an error with this, but so right now I'm in a LTR, and I know you hate that, but I was thinking, okay,
You're the youngin', right? You're like 22, 23.
24.
24. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So 24 in an LTR, and I'm just like, whenever I go to the gym, it's just like, there could be so many other options. And it's kind of hard because I'm especially in my 20s. I'm like, oh wow, there's a lot of attractive girls, and I'm doing very well for myself at my age. So I'm like, okay, how can I somehow keep the value of the LTR and still explore other options? So somehow, in a roundabout way, I convinced my LTR to be open to threesomes. So is that
Cool.
Would you say that's a pretty cool balance in terms of getting what I want and still keeping an LTR?
Hey, listen, dude, have you ever had a threesome?
I have not.
Okay, well, what are you waiting for? Like, get it on, come back and report, man. Make sure it's two
Sounds
chicks
great.
and, you know,
Yeah.
not like, you know, she brings some dude into the picture. You don't want to be crossing swords and doing some weird stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we can't have two blondes. That's like the only rule. There'll be competing blondes.
Oh, is that the rule that she set? You can't have two blondes in the
As long as she's not blonde.
Okay, so is your girlfriend bi, or is she like just open to exploring it with you?
She's just very competitive with other blondes, I suppose.
That doesn't answer the question though. Like, is she bi?
Okay. No.
She's not bi.
I don't believe so, no.
You don't believe so? Has she ever had an experience with another woman before?
I wouldn't be surprised if she kissed another girl, but not like scissoring, anything like that.
You know, just so you know, women typically don't scissor when you have threesomes. Just heads up, like FYI. that's you've been watching a little too much porn there, bro. Okay, so she's never had a threesome then, right?
To my knowledge, no.
Okay. You probably want to ask that question, because if she's open to having a threesome, she's either going to be bi, or she's attracted to women, or she's bi-curious, or she's done it before. You just want to make sure that she hasn't had a train run on her by a bunch of guys is all I'm saying here, right? You know, before you hop into this. Now, how are you going to go about selecting this chick? That's going to come into the equation.
Dark hair, brown hair.
Okay, but how are you going to bring her into the mix?
So I have really good success at talking to girls at the gym. It's kind of like my only free place, and I think that is a great place to start in terms of. It's not gonna be like, oh, you want to have a threesome, like right off the bat. It's kind of like. Does
she go to the gym with you?
No, she doesn't.
Good. You don't want women to work out with you. Bottom line. So here's a better way to do it. You're gonna get her to download an app like Bumble or Tinder. I think Bumble's probably going to be better for something like this. She's going to do, you know, women seeking women.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you have her find the girl, right? Because if you're going to go and find her and bring her in, she's going to try to compete with her, right? I mean, she's already setting the boundary of, oh, you know, you can't have two blondes in the same room sort of thing, because it's going to be me and her. Have her find the girl. And then you have to go and approve her when she's kind of narrowed it down, because she's probably going to find a chick that's going to be grosser than her.
Exactly.
Because women don't. Well, it's because women don't want to be in a situation where, you know, the other girl's prettier, or she's got a nicer body or something like that. So you're going to have to whittle it down to something that's acceptable. But that's usually the best way to go about doing it.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Put it in her hands to find it.
Right. You make her do the work, and then you just go and, you know, make the final approval. And then just, you know, grab a drink, shoot the shit, you know, get a little flirty, and then you just invite them over, jack shellac, give it a whack, bada boom, bada bing, done. Right?
Yeah.
You can go tell all your buddies, and you can say, hey, you know, this guy Rich Coop helped me out. By the way, guys, if you want to make a donation, my Bitcoin address is always in the description. I like crypto. It's all good.
Oh, you know what this is?
What's that?
Do you know what this logo is right here?
E with the horns. No, what is that?
Oh, it's a crypto company. And
which one?
To give you, It's called eToro.
Okay,
It's
I haven't heard of it yet.
It's pretty unique. Real quick, so basically, you put money with different investors, and they pretty much like invest for you in Bitcoin. They trade for you, and you can set your stop losses. It's kind of a unique service.
You never own your keys though, right? This is kind of like one of these platforms where they run it for you.
Yeah, you can select your. They call it copy traders, but you can select your copy trader, and they'll buy and sell whatever.
So business is good for you?
Well, my career, I mean, in terms of my job, excellent, I would say. Making moves, I'm doing great in that front. In terms of starting something on my own, it is becoming sparingly as work is like taking more and more time. So it's going to be a slow process over time, but I see myself being where I am right now for at least 4 more years.
Good.
In terms of my position.
Good. So there's a cautionary note here from Tuscan. He says, "Be careful, you might lose your LTR." That's why I said let her pick the girls.
Yeah,
and then you whittle it down from there.
I'm actually not too nervous about losing her. Like if she goes, she goes. Like I'm
well, you have to be okay with a girl leaving at any given time, right? Like you just have to understand that all women can be replaced. Let me ask you this question so you can give the audience a little bit of advice. How did you approach or pose the question to her when you were like, let's have a threesome? Or did she bring it up?
Oh, well, quite frankly, she wanted to take the relationship to the next step, right? She wanted.
What's the next step interview?
She's like, "Oh, when are you going to propose to me? All your friends are proposing." And I was like, I'm in my 20s. I was just pretty straight up with her. I'm in my 20s. There's a lot of things I haven't explored yet. Like, for example, a threesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then very, very like rejecting at first. And then I was like, well, I mean, at least once. And then kind of like, okay, at least once. And it kind of worked out that way. But I mean, at the end of the day, whatever I say, whatever I want from her, she will provide it to me. And it's not so much as in I'm demanding of her. It's kind of like if you want to, like, making me happy makes her happy.
So, yeah, she's totally in your frame. So that's good. By the way, after she's started to narrow down the girls, tell her to put the girl or the girls, it's probably just going to be one, but put them in like a group chat, either on Signal, Telegram, WhatsApp, whatever, so that all 3 of you are in the chat so you can kind of communicate together so there's nothing being missed. And then that way you can kind of move it closer towards, closing on that deal with the threesome. Come back and let me know how you make out with that, when you go through with it. Okay?
Yeah, that's good. That's going to be fun. Having her download Bumble.
All right, man. Get to work.
All right. Yep.
See you, bro. Peace. Let me grab these supers here. What do we got? I got like another 12 minutes left. Ryan J says 30s on my own, making career change. Worth to take out school loans for food processing, 6K left in debt, and PTBO at the moment, making 40. I don't know what PTBO is. Worth to take out school loans for food processing. Look, I'm not a big fan of taking out school loans. Bottom line, in my view, post-secondary education, from my experience, is a waste of fucking time. The entire school system is built around educating women. Unless you're going to school for something that might be STEM related, it's going to be a high paying job, science, technology, engineering, maths. Trades can be good too, if they're in high and strong demand. But I'm not a big fan of school loans, so I don't advocate for that. What do you think about Adrian Balloon and BF? He's overweight, not really known, and definitely lower status than me. Do you think she really likes him? Who the hell is Adrian Balloon? Adrian, is that a person? Let me just Google that. Adrian Balloon. Nope, nothing comes up. I have no idea what you're talking about, bro. Oh, American television host, Adrienne Balloon and Boy. See, I don't watch TV. Okay. I don't have cable. I haven't watched TV in forever. I could give a fuck who the hell this person is and what her boyfriend is all about. So there's your answer. Sorry about that. Don't have a better one for you. Renegade Wingman. If you haven't picked up Rich's book yet, get it. Looking forward to being on next week. Cheers. All right. There you have it, guys. You should definitely get my book, The Unplugged Alpha, available on Amazon right now. Okay, let's see what we got here. I can probably do 1 or 2 more. Let me check the chat here. Real question. Started an Amazon business. I have my first product ready to ship from China. Mr. Rich, I don't have directions at the moment. Looking for guidance. Directionless 18-year-old. Okay, let's give directionless 18-year-old a chance here. Adrian is not even in the waiting area. Why would you post it there if you're not in the waiting area? Okay. James has an Amazon business. Let's see what he's going to say. He's got my book up there for you, just so you guys know what it is. There you go.
Hey, Rich.
Good.
Been married. I was married 30 years. Did that concession of 1,000 till after 30 years.
Betaization by 1,000 concessions. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was terrible till that. My wife was married to a pussy, and she wouldn't have sex with me anymore. So,
yep.
So she threw me out. It was a couple of years. Took me to adjust, spin some plates. I had a great time. I got one gal that's got that burning desire for me, and she's in a different city, commute back and forth. Things going well. Getting a little wet feet about the LTR stuff.
Okay. Why?
Because you get attached, and then like I think of that when you're with that 7-year point when the blowjob stop, it starts to suck, and you're committed because you've got things established and all that stuff. I don't want to go through that again.
Well, you know what direction you're going in if the BJs have stopped. You know when the Hummers stop, it just starts to go downhill from there, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And heads up, guys.
So if you want to maintain desire, like if you want to keep that going, I mean, if you want to have the competition anxiety going off in her head, you got to give her something to get excited about seeing you for. You got to give her something to want to like drop to her knees when she walks in the front door and just give you the best humdinger you ever had, sort of thing, right?
Roger that.
You're not going to get that by living with her. You're not going to get that by moving her in, or, you know, moving to her city or her moving to your city. There should be no escalation, or, you know, how women like want to progress. We want to take it to the next level. Okay. Well, maybe I'll entertain that if all my other ducks are all lined up. You're a compliment to my life. You know, when you're here, you're tidy, you know, you're productive, you have culinary skills.
It's been going that way for about a year. That it's working out. As long as
my buddy Ryan Stone says. I don't know if you know Ryan. Do you know Ryan?
No, I don't.
He's one of the regular panelists on the Rule Zero crew. He's a good guy. A lot of his videos are like kind of tied into LTR game. And one of the things that he always says is relationships work best when women are fighting for you. Not like, you know, fighting for you like they're chasing you all the time sort of thing, but they basically have genuine desire for you, and they're fighting to keep you, you know, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And that's why this one sticks out. Yeah.
So that's work. I mean, I tell guys all the time, look, you know, if you get into a long-term relationship, you got to understand that it's more work and it's less rewarding than spinning plates in some cases, right? Because you don't get the variety, you know, for the most part, because that's just the way that most of these things kind of hash themselves out. So, and then you're doing work to try to maintain desire when you're not getting the humdingers that you used to get. Right. So you kind of have to gamer, you know, like there's dating game, there's spinning plates game, there's long-term relationship game, there's married game. If you're with a woman, there's always some game that's got to be played. But the best game, the best use of your time is chase excellence, not women. Do things that you're passionate about, make bank, make money, you know, learn game, ideal to that scenario.
Absolutely.
Conk just dropped a nice tip here for you. He says, also going old school. Remember to be aloof and still have some mystery. Don't overcommit. Add some dread. You don't want her to always know what's going on, what's thinking, that her position is safe and secure. I don't know. I had this conversation with my chick the other day. We were talking about something with other women. She's like, well, what other women want you, or something like that. I'm like, you don't need to worry about that. You just need to know that it exists. You know, like, you want to caffeinate the hamster in their head without actually giving them, you know, the entire code to the matrix. You just have to drop some hints, you know? I mean, if you want to get, like, women kind of do this on their own. If you kind of leave them to their own devices, they'll go looking for hairs. They'll look at fingerprints on your mirror, on your glass shower door that look like, you know, female fingerprints, right? Like they kind of create it for themselves. It's just pure stupidity. Like have a cleaning lady that comes over and cleans your house that's got different colored hair than your girlfriend or something like that if you want to. Right? It's just stupid shit like that. Like these are the games that you have to play as a guy, you know, to keep the hamster caffeinated in her head so that she's still always excited about you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. I'm on board.
Yeah, I mean, but more than anything else, it's mental point of origin, man. Put yourself first, do what you want, you know, make sure she's a compliment to your life, not the focus. She's not a ball buster, and she's always in your frame. It's just, you know.
Yeah,
boom, boom,
quick
boom.
note too that I think about my wife of 30 years that it always stuck with me that hey, because she was really attractive. I go, what'd you see in a guy like me? And she always said that, well, you're driven and you were respected by those in the field.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Sounds
when
familiar?
and then at the end, at 30 years, I didn't have that, and I wasn't attracted to her anymore. I can understand that.
You know what's funny? Women don't even know that they do this to dudes. So I did a video last week on Darren Hardy with his shitty advice around, you know, relationships and picking up mops to try to get the girls. But there was something that stood out that I didn't tip my hat to him for. And I don't know if I put it in the video or if it ended up in the final clip, but he was talking about how he can stand up on a stage in front of 25,000 people, be admired by them, sign books for hours. But then when he gets in the car and drives home with his wife, she tries to take him down a few notches. You know, she tries to take down his ego and starts telling him things like, well, you should pick up a mop and mop the floor, right? Even though this guy can command an audience of men that want to be him and women that want to be with him probably still. So as soon as you lose that touch, as soon as you let women take that touch away from you, if you let them, you become less attractive to them.
Have you seen that Better Bachelor series? I forget the guy's name.
Joker. You know what?
Yeah.
I'll say this: don't spend too much time watching Better Bachelor. I like the guy, and I think his breakdowns are good, but he's not offering solutions. He's just reading articles and offering some commentary.
Yeah. But one of those articles though that I liked was Tom Brady. He talked about here how great Tom Brady is. You know, he's 98% of every woman's dream. And here Giselle did an interview about how he kind of sucks because he don't help out around the house with the kids.
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself. That's basically what I would be saying. Yeah. I don't have time to fucking mop the floor because I'm busy chasing excellence. That's why I have a cleaning lady that comes over and does it.
And that's about what he said.
If she's a housewife, she should be doing the damn work anyway. But yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, James, have a wonderful night, brother.
All right. Thanks, Rich.
See you, man. There's another super here that popped in. Sky says, I'm 22, who's financially successful by living frugally and with investments. Women love spending money. How would you deal with living frugally through a relationship? If you're going to get into a long-term monogamous like type of live-in LTR marriage or whatever type of scenario, you can't get involved with the chick that blows money like it's going out of style. If she's got like a handbag and a shoe collection, you're going to have problems. If she's carrying debt, you're going to have problems. She's going to try to make her money problems your problems. And it doesn't matter how much money you make, it's never going to be enough to keep up with her crappy spending habits. So that's one of the things that you need to vet for as men. If you get involved with women on a long-term basis, she better be on your plan financially, meaning she better come to the table with no debt or as little debt as possible. And if she has debt, she's paying it off. She's financially prudent with her money, and she's not blowing it on dumb shit like a handbag and a shoe collection or something like that. You know what I'm saying? All right. Yeah, Conk's got another good point here. He always drops some good bombs. Assert your opinions on things, even if you don't honestly care. Boom. Guys, I have to start wrapping up. There's a bunch of you in the waiting area. I'm sorry I'm not going to be able to get to the rest of you, but I have another show that I'm committed to in my Entrepreneurs Brotherhood community, which I do every other Monday. So next Monday, I'll be doing the Zoom Q&A. If you guys want to join on that, you can come in afterwards. That's for channel membership. I do have to do the Zoom thing for my guys because they do. Oh, hang on a second. There's a super here I missed. JP, can I move out of my mom's house with $7,000? I don't know, dude. Where do you live? Where are you planning on going? How old are you? What do you do for a living? Are you employed? There's a lot of questions to ask there. I am going to wrap up tonight's show. This was a fun one. There's some good questions that came out of this. I hope you guys got some value out of it. If you did enjoy it, smash the like button, leave a comment below, engage in the conversation. I also have to do a little bit of housekeeping before I wrap up. My channel sponsor is Tactical Soap and Beard Oil. Go to coopersoap.com. After the video is rendered, I'm going to put a link pinned in the top description as well. It's pheromone-infused soaps. It's endocrine disruption free. It doesn't have any of that crap in it. If you guys didn't watch the Dr. Anthony J episode on Playing to Win on his book, Estrogeneration, go watch it. I'm serious about this. When I tell you guys to be intentional about what you put in your body or on your body, whatever, I don't care. Don't use tactical soap, but use a men's toiletry product that is not going to disrupt your endocrine system. You're showering anyways. You're watching my show. If you enjoy it, this is the way to go. Coopersoap.com. They also have dope ass beard oils and these pheromone sticks as well, which are nice top ups to the day. These are really small. You can put them in your pocket, keep them in your car, whatever. Check those out. And if you're interested in joining my men's community and getting the perks on the entrepreneurs tier, just go entrepreneursandcars.com/community. You can go watch the video and learn more about that there. I will be releasing a video on, I think I've got one on Wednesday, which I recorded a few weeks ago, which is quite good, which is going to be more business related because I've had a few people ask me to touch on some of those topics. And then later on in the week on Friday, I'm going to do a collab with Charlie, who did the, who's got the Cultivate Crypto channel. I think it's, I have to check my calendar, but I think it's Friday morning. But we're going to be talking a little bit more about crypto. His course opens up again. So for those of you that have asked about it last time, he has to open it, do the training, do all the webinars, and he, does the next series the next quarter. So if you're interested in crypto, that's coming up this Friday. You're not going to want to miss that one. We're going to drop lots of useful information in the show, and you'll be given an opportunity to sign up for his course as well, which is a phenomenal course. I got into it last fall-ish. I think it was November. So really, really good information. I made a ton of money off what I learned from him, and he's been really, really good. There's a lot of guys in the crypto space that I don't entirely trust. And Charlie's really grown on me. He's one of the good guys. So that'll be Friday. Check that out. We'll see you guys in the next cast. Hope you guys have an